Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Qualified Podcast. With me today, I have Mislav Buntich, and his service is Clean My Mess. Mislav, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your story.
Thank you for it.
Of course. So let's jump in. Background: where'd you grow up? Where were you born? All that.
So I was born in Croatia. When I was 28-year-old, I left to Canada. So actually, 26-year-old, I went to Canada. So I lived in Canada for 4 years, and then after that, now I'm in Miami for last 3 years. So basically, out of my country, around about like 7 years. A lot of background in business. So I had many businesses before. Only one that wasn't really successful, but I had really some successful business. I love business, and I can't wait to share some of my experience, honestly, to motivate people to go ahead and just start hustling, and that's it.
I love that. So within 7 years, you left your home country, went to another country, and now a third country.
Exactly.
A lot of movement. So what was the reason for leaving Croatia to Canada and then Canada to the US?
Yeah, so in Croatia, I had a big business that I built up, employing more than 500 people when I was around 24-year-old. And pretty much, I would say, yes, that I reached out my limit right there. And at some moment, I decided to sell everything and then move to Canada. Or basically, my goal was to get to America, but it wasn't that easy. So Canada was easier at the moment. Then I started another business over there, which was construction business. That one was good, but unfortunately, I didn't really like the weather. At one moment, I just said, like, before this becomes too good, let me change and make something else in Florida, and I just moved to Miami, and that's it.
What was this business in Croatia that you had 500 employees?
Yeah, so I had a taxi service.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, for example, it was related to Uber. Uber in Croatia, if you want to drive Uber, you have to open your own business because there is no like a sole proprietorship over there, and it's really expensive to start new business, etc., etc. So I decided to be a partner, who would employ people and take commission for that. So that's how it was working. So Uber was at the moment taking 25%, and then depend on the city that I was working in, I would take from some other driver, let's say 10%, 7, 12, it depends if it's a season or not, etc., etc. So pretty much it was like that, Yes, that was interesting,
It's hard to believe that, you wanted to sell that and give that up when, you're essentially just like this business model. You're taking a cut, not doing much. You're not doing much work, if any at all, once you get people signed up, right? So
yes.
Big change.
Was the thing that I have to admit that at the moment I didn't really think how far that could go, etc., etc. I was also very, very overwhelmed with work, and that was the the biggest thing why I decided to stop, because literally, Michael, it was like 200 calls a day, etc., etc. At the moment, and this is something where a lot of people stuck, and I was stuck in that place as well. It's how to scale from that point, how to like get rid of all these calls, all these people, so they don't call you, And also, our government didn't really support Uber at the beginnings, like any other country, So we were kind of like arguing with them all the time, And I was always the first one, who would talk to them. And I said, okay, this is too much. And I made a deal with another Uber partner. I said, look, hey, take your old drivers, my drivers, and I'm done, that's it.
Was it a good payday?
Yeah. It was.
That's all that matters, right? At the end of the day, you're happy. The person who bought the business is happy, and everybody's happy, right?
Exactly, yes.
When you were younger, when you were a kid, 24, you're a kid. You're a kid. But being a little kid, in primary school, elementary school, what did you want to be? Did you want to be a business owner? Did you want to be?
I will tell you now, which is crazy. That's interesting, So when I was 15, I wanted to work in a bank, and I did work in a bank from when I was 18 to 22, and I was studying financial law at the same time. But all my life, I wanted to be in a newspaper as a businessman. That was my dream, and that dream came true. And now I figured throughout the time, because at the beginning, once I moved to Canada, it was really hard, and because new people, you don't have connections, when you were born in one country, you have, like, I don't know, 1,000 connections. It's easy to start anything pretty much, because you, like, right away, you have almost like 1,000, not really clients, but people in your base that you can contact and say, hey, for example, I do cleaning services business right now. While when I came to Canada, it was really hard. Yeah, like, I thought that everything will happen in Croatia, that I was just lucky, and I didn't know that I maybe have talent for business, but honestly, now being in Miami, this is my third time being successful, and all my friends had a big impact telling me, hey, you have so much talent. This is impossible. This is impossible, and then I figured out, okay, there is something, and it's a gift from God, literally, So you know what I mean? Like, and I want to share this with people, really. Like, so we're gonna touch some of these points, in this conversation, and I cannot wait to go ahead, because it's literally my first opportunity to go out loud like this and share some of my experience and motivate people.
Well, I'm glad to be, your host and asking you these questions for the first time. And like you said, three countries,
Yes.
businesses in each country, all successful. Canada, you had the construction company.
Yes.
How was that? How successful was
Wow.
that?
So I will tell you, for example, my first job, I went to quote one job and I had no clue what I'm doing. Okay, so I came there. I really remember it. So I came there, and this guy, he was asking me to quote him for the tile installation. And as soon as I entered to this house, and I never thought about it, I'm like, wow, just a second. Like, this floor is made out of the plywood, while back home in Croatia is from concrete. So I thought it's straight, mortar and tile on top. And he's asking me what kind of mortar bed you're gonna do, and I'm like, whatever you want, because I didn't know what to say, He said, are you going to use mesh and then do like a coat of mortar, or you're going to do a shooter, which is like a little bit more expensive material to put on the plywood? And I said, whatever you want, just tell me. I can do any, and I had no clue what I'm talking about. And literally everything started like that, learning a little by little. And I had people around me who were in construction. So it was really easy for me to find people that could work. And literally from one job a week or in 2 weeks to, I would say, I think that we were doing 60 projects. Just give me 1 second. We used to do, 30 projects a month, which is crazy. And I was very, very happy because all the people that work with me were always on time. And that's something that is so important, because when people feel you are reliable, then they're going to refer you. If you're not reliable, then I'm going to refer you, you know. So a lot of people think today, like, oh, you start a business, and from a referral, you're gonna grow your business. It's not like that, because referral, I would say, might be a big number to within few years. But when you start a business, referral is gonna be maybe 1%. So you need to really like keep grinding, finding more to come to the point. Okay, now this can work just from referrals. Oh, and yeah, that's it. It was good, and we used to work a lot. At the moment, I mean, I can tell you straight numbers. This wasn't a $1 million business, but I would make anywhere, and I'm talking about very fresh business. We were maybe in a business like at that moment for 2 years. Then I start making like $15,000 Canadians up to $40,000 Canadians a month, which was to me super good and enough. But as I said, I just wanted the warmer place, and then I decided to go to Miami. My brother moved from Croatia to Canada to help me out with the business, and then he was the one who continued, and I left.
So he's still there running the construction company.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay. That's my next question. So before the construction business, before your brother came from Croatia, anybody else a business owner in your family that you learned from growing up, or are
No,
you the only one?
yes, honestly, not really. I just, when I was in school, like a high school, I had, in a school, I had like 4 years of a business class, just business. They teach you just about business. And that's something that I never studied. And I would always finish with the best grade, which was 5. and I love it because I really love it the way, I love that game. I love to, I don't know, for example, just I'll be very short. For me, the most important thing is to make a deal. Then second, the most important, it's not even the payment. To me, it's just that client tells me it's all good. And then I feel "Ooh, relieved. And then I know that's it, you know. But when I make a deal, I won, And so like when I go to give you a quote, I either go out of that house as a loser, or a winner. That's how I look every approach. Every time I talk, you're going to flirt, you're going to play around, you're going to smile, but you need to be very confident, so you can come in a house like, hi. No, you're going to grab his hand or her hand and say, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. You need to have a vibe, and then also you need to have a knowledge. But all that has to be, you have to be there. If you agree that 1 p.m., it has to be 12:50, and you wait 1 p.m., you knock on the doors, So that's how I do it every time. Yes, literally before maybe 3 months ago happened to me first time in my life that I forgot about the one appointment I had and I couldn't believe. And I'm like, wow, I think I need a break. It never happened to me. And I called that guy. I said, I apologize. This never happened to me in my life. Anyway, later on, we finished everything. I got a job. Everything was fine. But yes, it's very important to be on time. That's number one to me, I would say.
100%. With Clean My Mess,
Yes,
you started that in Miami.
exactly.
How long ago was that?
September last year.
So we're a year in.
Exactly.
Why a cleaning business?
Wow, I'm going to tell you because I was looking for a business from my experience where I don't need skilled trades. Okay. So, because I knew if I want to scale the business to have more people that's going to work with me, I knew I need, it's going to be easier for me if I'm looking for the people that are not skilled trades. For example, that same thing was with taxi drivers in Croatia. While in Canada, it was the opposite. I really needed everybody to be a skilled trade, plumber, electrician, plastic guy, whatever, And it was hard to find all these trades, skilled trades, and they start negotiate with you with the price, and then you need to use your skill to sell the job or make a good deal so you can pay him well, And that's why I said, like, I just need a business, and I was like, is this going to be a demolition? Or it's going to be a cleaning service, because demolition, it's somewhere there also. You don't really need the skilled guys, but it's a lot of responsibility. And I said, okay, let me go with the cleaning service. That was it, nothing else. I don't like to clean the toilets. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they're like, what business I should do? Let me find the business that I love so I don't have to work a day in my life, They're a little bit brainwashed. Me, I have, for example, I think like, I don't care. I just love business. Me, I don't care what that business is. If I need to mess up my hand today, I will go do it 300 days in a row. But I know what's going to be the outcome, and that's literally how it happened with cleaning service. I remember first days,
Well, you have a lot of energy. So I'm sure that the moment you figured out is it cleaning or demolition and you went with cleaning, you're like ready to go, started right away. Do you remember how much money you invested to start?
You know how much? $500.
What did it go to?
So it go to equipment first. Okay, equipment. So I bought a vacuum and one set, like literally mop and supplies, nothing. Okay. First job, balcony cleaning in one building. But I had a friend and I asked her, hey, let me just decline this call. I said, do you have a group chat in your building? And she said, yes. I said, okay, look, let me go to your place and clean your balcony. You're going to pay me $60, but please share this in a group chat. So look, I went there, I was cleaning and, Miami, it's hot. It was hot really outside. And I was cleaning like 3 hours for $60, 3 hours, $60. Literally, I had $40 of material because I would clean everything from windows in and out, professional, a balcony. And I was looking all the tutorial videos on YouTube, how to clean the windows, what squeegee, what this, what that. And I would clean and I'm like, what I'm doing 3 hours. I'm killing myself. Like profit is $20, but I knew that's what they're gonna ask me, So everybody would approach me and tell me like, hey, excuse me, Misa, but how do you? And they would not tip me. That's something very important to tell because I didn't want to. A lot of people will be like, these people, they're not good. People will test you out. You're gonna test yourself out as well. Okay. I would do everything perfect. Everything perfect. It would be, how are you making any profit? You know? And I said, it's not to me about profits. I just want you to see how much of effort I'm ready to put to make your place clean. So tomorrow, if you need me to clean your interior, let me know. Of course, they would close me today, you know? So in that same building, within maybe 2 months, I got 20 units that we start cleaning. And then I was like, okay, I need cleaners. I started searching for cleaners, which was easy. Thanks God. In Miami, a lot of people are looking for such a job, and went in 2 or 3 months, went from like slightly like this to this, and it's not stopping, So yes, I'm going to just keep a little bit and tell you that after in the first month, I'm like, this is crazy because people in Miami speak Spanish, a lot of them. So I start learning Spanish. I didn't know nothing. My cleaners talking Spanish, my clients talking English. So I'm translating in between. So I will lose so much of my energy to get them going, to do the job. And I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Is this right or no? But I'm like, I can't stop. I just need to go forward. And at some point I'm going to learn Spanish if that's the problem, That's what happened. And one day I just got a call from Google. I have a Google business, account organically. Boom. We need a cleaning for a construction site, 10,000 square feet. And I'm like, what? Like 10,000 square feet. I Google right away the address. I see the house, new house, $32 million. I get there. It's a construction site, And this was my first time quoting such a job, because I didn't have experience with construction cleaning at all, and I had very little of experience. I lost so much time to figure out what would be the perfect price so that I'm making profit, And I got there, I got the job for $40,000. Today, that same house paid me at least $100,000 within the last 8 months, the only one house, and we are still cleaning there. So yeah, it's like the cleaning business can go crazy and people have no clue, and I had no clue, but I want to share this with people. I need competition. Like, for example, people ask me, do you have competition? Anybody who doesn't pick the phone is not the competition for me, For me, competition are people that are picking up each call, and that's what I'm doing, And I said, you don't know what to do for a living. Listen, search the industry, plumbing. All the plumbers, if they don't pick up, they're busy. So that's the industry to be in. It's so easy to understand, to figure out where is the money. So this is what I figured with the cleaning. Nobody's picking up the phone. You call these businesses, nobody's picking up. That's why I got this job. This lady, she told me, you are the only one who picked up and you're so responsive that we're going to give you a job. And they give me a job and they're happy with me for last 8 months. There you go.
$32 million house, $40,000 cleaning job for what was it? Was it it was a post-construction cleaning?
It was a cleaning every Monday. Now, the guy purchased new house. He did demolition from whole interior and exterior of the house, but the base of the house was there. And he invested $20 million more to renovate the way he wants. Crazy, right? Anyway, we would come there and clean construction site every Monday, so it looks representable, you know what I mean? Now we clean it every 2 weeks because they are about to get the property done. But this was all including every Monday a regular cleaning inside, 40,000, then one a window cleaning in and out, and one final in and out, But now they added a lot of stuff. So literally today, right now, I have 2 people over there just as a laborer, helping them do some stuff over there. And as I said, they end up paying close to $100,000 just from that house.
So what did it was 40,000 for how long? Like how long did the 40,000?
You could stretch it to maybe I would say approximately 4 months.
So a weekly cleaning for 4 months.
Exactly. So you're looking, I can tell you exactly that each cleaning would be at around $850 approximately. And from each cleaning, I would put in my pocket $500. So every Monday, my week starts at $500 plus,
Not
bad.
So
not bad. And I was scared. So I honestly, when I was sending the price, I'm like, listen, I don't want to go there upset because this is like few months and I don't want to like be running out of the money. And I mean, and be like, hey, I need to go work for free. And I said, no, 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 no. I'm going to price this up because I need to make sure this is all good. So literally the price that they signed up for end up being the price that I understand today. It's really okay price. It's good price, good for me, okay for them. And that's it. And by the time on another side, a lot of like little apartments to clean, little houses, offices, everything. But post construction is a very good niche, I would say, for me, for myself. If I could, I would only do honestly post construction cleanings.
But in this case, it's not even post construction because you're there every week cleaning while they're still doing the construction, which to me, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of somebody spending money while the construction is going on and they're just going to continue to make a mess. It doesn't make sense. Seems like this person just like to spend money.
Exactly. Recently, we just cleaned one house on Venetian Island, and I was participating on Saturday. So it was 2-day cleaning, $2,600. My profit was $1,200 after I pay everybody and material. And what I was about to tell you, and also construction site, they just want to clean it. So when the client comes, for example, from New York, everything looks like they are keeping it in a shape, because
Gotcha.
people are paying, I don't know, a lot of money, to renovate home, and they want this to be spotless.
So, what are some of the challenges that you faced in the last year?
Honestly, I'm a type of a guy who likes to, every challenge that I face, I like to finish it right away. So the I don't even know if I really had the challenge that something was so hard, no, because it was always easy to find people. Today, I have probably like 2 or 3 calls per day where people call me that they want to work with us. But I don't remember really like facing some hard challenges, except that, of course, I did work a lot. I did work a lot. I knew some other businesses around that are, or business owners that are also doing cleaning, having cleaning services. And I knew that they're like living like very like easy lifestyle. And I figured out that they're not into it, and I said, but I saw that they're making money. And I said, okay, I just need to work double. And I would work, I'm not joking with you, Michael, I would work 20. Okay, if it's not 20, but it was 18 hours a day for a year. I cleaned probably like 200 units myself. I read books about cleaning because, I never thought about what if I have offices to clean? If people call me, should I do it or no? Because that job, for example, is at night. You don't want to, not everybody wants to work at night, because people going to call you, hey, I cannot enter. You know what I mean? Then, it's very hard, but I had no clue. So when I start reading some books, I figured out, like some little stuff. And I actually bought this book before I started the business, maybe let's say like July last year. And I figured where I might face some problems, So I said, I don't want to do office cleanings, or I can do them, but only throughout the day, and that's it. So, for example, I focus mostly on residential, a lot of window cleanings, post construction, and here and there we do offices, but pretty much also offices that we had, all the offices that were also after construction, so post construction cleaning of office spaces.
So you spent a lot of time learning
A lot.
and doing the work yourself. How do you manage your time now as you're a year in, you're the owner?
Yes.
How are you prioritizing and managing your time?
Yes. So, for example, I spend a lot of time really, but I just did it because I didn't want to stretch this out. I wanted to start making money as soon as possible because I was really in a situation where I really needed it. Okay. And because if you're lazy, nothing will work out. Nothing. And I honestly had days where I had no work, and I knew if I stay in the bed that nothing will change. So I would literally go to my storage just to drive there every day, 7 in the morning, see what I have from my stocks inside and go back, just to have a routine. That routine was same for the last 1 year. Same. Day was actually before a month ago, I left for my first vacation in a long time and back home to Croatia. And I figured that I can manage this business from anywhere in the world. And I'm like, I said to my cleaners, because it was my first time, I said, guys, if you're okay, I would like to work only 50% capacity. I would use same people, but less jobs. And they said they're okay because they're also tired, you know? And everything went so smooth that I'm like, in Croatia, I'm like, I can live with this money here easy, you know? So right now, for example, I pick up all the calls that we are getting. So I'm the one receiving all the calls. If I have to go see some bigger properties, I go there personally. So I'm the one who still handles this. And I think I'm going to push like this one more year. And then I'm going to really step out and try to organize everything. But I still want to be presentable to show to my cleaners that I'm going to clean the war stuff, which is something I'm doing really. I clean places that people would vomit easy. Really, I did them all. So I said to my cleaners, you don't have to go, please. I'll go do it. To show them that I'm going to do it. You have to be very thankful to them. I pay my cleaners really good, really, you know. And bring them coffee, cake. It doesn't matter because these people going to keep you living in your family tomorrow, you know. So, and I never had issue with any of my cleaners. Always on time, very nice. They do whatever I ask them to do. And we never had an issue. Never, never. I can't even believe, but it's really a blessing, you know?
It's amazing to hear. So your leadership style is what? More family friendly, not so strict.
Exactly. So
You're ready to jump in and do the dirty work.
exactly. So always, I don't care about that. Like if they call me, I'm packing up right now and I go there. Always. So I like to be, as you said, family friend or a friendship kind of relationship, but I set up the limits. So I wrote them like instructions when they can call me, because often they would call me, hey, valet is $20 here. You know, so I would have like, I don't know, 6 calls per day. Like they're calling me, hey, valet is $20. Where should I park? So you need to make rules. You call me if parking is more than $10. Da, 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 da. So I wrote down everything. So now they call me way less, you know? And of course, listen, believe it or not, I teach myself alone how to do towel art. So I teach them all of this. So I said, listen, when you finish the bed, this is how you do the bed. And I was the one who was looking tutorials on YouTube, some Filipino people making towel art, how to set up hotel bed in 10 minutes. And I was doing it 20 times when I figured out, okay, this way is the best. And then I make a video. I show them to my cleaners in person or also online. And bam. So now they know what my expectations are. So they know we're gonna have problem if things are not like that, you know. But they don't, like recently, for example, we were cleaning one house and it was a marble floor. And if you just use the mop, you might see strikes later on when everything dries out. And nobody noticed it. Of course, I noticed it as soon as I entered, you know, and we were about to wrap up from there. And it's a huge place, like 5,000 square feet. And I called all 4 cleaners. I said, "Hey, come here, look." And they already changed their clothes, you know. I said, guys, I was upset. And I said, guys, you know that you never have a problem with me. You might only have a problem with me, excuse me, for your stupidity or if you're not focused. But can you see the floor? And they say, yes, please, you know, listen, they know that I'm very fair, you know. I pay my cleaners every day. Every day, they don't wait for money like more than 24 hours because I know this is, you know, these are small amounts. That sometimes it's 200, sometimes it's 300, sometimes it's $60 if it's one unit, for example, you know, one bedroom. But I always tell them, these are my expectations. We might have a problem if you don't follow that. If you follow, I will never have a problem with you. And that's it. It's really good right now. Everything is very smooth, you know.
So how do you keep everybody positive and just in the business, the company culture always high and the energy is always good? How do you do it?
Always, and empathy, you know, because I know this job is not easy because I did it myself. No matter, I'm perfectionist, you know, and no matter how perfectionist you are, you might be perfection on first unit that you start at 9. Then you have another unit that you are starting at, let's say, 1. And then you have another one that you might start at 5 p.m. So these last 2, if they're not going to be perfect as the one that you did at 9, because you're tired, you're exhausted, you know, you don't have any more patience to scrub, you know. So I understand this, and you need to have empathy because I'm not the type of guy who feels good to say to my cleaner, "Hey, please, can you scrub the floor?" Because I know that she has to go on her knees to scrub it. You know, this is a very, very for myself, very specific business where you really like you are asking people to go on their knees to scrub. And I don't feel perfect about it, but it's the business we are in. But that's why I have empathy. Hey, can I help you? I will do it. Bam, 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 and then they see that I'm doing, and they don't have a problem to do it as well. So positivity, you're not going to call them and say, hey, like, why you didn't send me a text that you are at the job already? You know, no, I'm going to call and say, hey, everything okay? Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, I forgot. I just didn't want to bother you. No problem. So I always approach like that. Of course, if I get a feedback, but I never received it, honestly, never. I would react maybe, but I never had any problems with them. Literally never. You cannot believe, but never.
That's amazing to hear because if
Yes,
no problems with employees is the best outcome you can have as a business owner, right?
exactly.
How do you handle failure, setback within the business? You say with earlier when you walk in, you either walk out with the deal or you walk out failing, right? So how do you handle the fail?
Yes, so I know if I failed it, I mean it doesn't happen that often. Honestly, I would say maybe from it might happen on the phone. If I go to the person, I'm gonna close more jobs. But over the phone, it might happen because people are browsing, so they're gonna call and ask you, for example, how much is to clean one bedroom, one bathroom? Ideal price for us would be 163 hours cleaning, and this is something also that I had no clue before because some people they're 160, it's flat price. You can't do a flat price because every unit, even that same unit, every week will take different time, to clean it. So we say, for example, ideally it's 163 hours. But then you're gonna have people, what? I have a lady, she cleans for 80. Okay. And I'm like, okay. So what can I do for you? So you hire me. So they're gonna tell, okay, I can pay 120. I said, okay, let me invest into this deal. I'm gonna invest into this deal because I'm giving her a lower price. So pretty much I'm investing money because I might not make anything, you know? And I say I pay cleaners $20 per hour. I have parking and I have cleaning supplies that I provide in the week. So each cleaner has each set, each vacuum, same vacuum, etc., etc. And I said, I'm going to invest money. Let us do the job. And if you're happy, I at least have the client and that's it. Or I have another thing. I can pay Google $60. Google guaranteed pretty much. They charge $60 per lead. And you're not even sure if you're going to get the lead or no. Okay, so this way I don't even pay $60. I'm on zero, let's say, but I got the client. I know she's going to refer me because as soon as we enter with the clothes, two covers, full set, vacuum, full set, and vacuum is probably $800. They're going to say, okay, this is the different experience, and then I know I got it. You know, but also I was looking for the solution for all of these clients that are negotiating with the price because there is a lot of individuals cleaning, and they don't have like expenses. They're working directly for themselves. I was like, okay, I need solutions. So I made a subscription model for some clients where we pretty much clean one bedroom, one bathroom for $99. Okay, we are making bare minimum, but I also keep my people busy. So it's good for a client. I keep my people busy and let's just keep going. Because I mean, I don't maybe have to make on this cleaning 60 bucks. Let me make 15, but my cleaner is working full day instead of 4 hours that day, for example.
So they're happy they're not going somewhere else. They're not looking
Exactly.
for more work.
Exactly. Yes. You need to think about keeping them because if you teach them how to work, you don't want them to go.
So with you doing all this, doing cleanings, helping, obviously you got to run the business, right? How do you maintain a healthy work-life balance?
Yes. Honestly, only my social life is a gym. I go to the gym, I work out. I don't drink, I don't use any stuff like that. So it's only way to have progress because I cannot afford myself to wake up tomorrow at 11. I mean, I can do it, but I don't feel good. Honestly, I'm that kind of person. Now, after a year, I can balance this way better than before. But last year, I have to admit, I didn't really have a balance. It was more like work 2 hours to go to the gym, shower, and go sleep. And just like that. So even if I would finish with all my jobs, let's say at 7 p.m., I still got home and then I need to do some updates on our Google businesses, reply on reviews, which is very important, because in my case, right now, 60% of jobs will come from Google. 40% right now is referral or recurring people.
Your energy always so high. How do you stay motivated? How do you keep, the drive going? Especially when you said last year, starting the business, any business owner is going to be spending more time than they do a year from now. Things change. But how do you keep your energy high? How do you keep your motivation high? What does it do? Like besides the gym, like what?
Yes, yes. You know the thing. I'm very happy when I see success coming. That's what drives me. A lot of people will be driven with the money as well. Because for example, let's okay, now it's 12:44, but let's say I close the deal at 7 p.m. like 2 days ago. They call me that they need some help with labor. And I told them, okay, so how many people you need? They said 2 days. Anyway, so this was like 34 units times 280, what's $9,500 quote. So I made profit with that one quote around like $3,000. Of course, I'm going to feel good. You know what I mean? Of course. Okay. Oh, super. Let's go. Let's just go. Let's just go. Now, you might have some downs because, oh my God, like this day, I made only $150 because I don't know. Let's say it might happen that somebody calls you. To me, happened maybe like 4 times, and client tells you like, hey, they broke something by accident. They broke something. Or they spray wrong acid on metal and metal got screwed. You know what I mean? So you might have such a situations. Of course, you're going to say to client, hey, I'll take care of this no matter what. You have to take care of it. So there is no situations where you're going to just walk out. That's something that you need to do. And I had a client, for example, we sprayed something on her faucet. I mean, something on acid, and metal got completely screwed. So faucet was $800,000, just the plate. And I'm like, oh, this is not possible. Anyway, I found solution. I brought original one back. It cost me a lot, but this lady called me till today. She kept calling us for her services because she also ended up giving me discounts for the business that she has. Just because you show to people, that it's not everything about money. And I had recently one client, which is also important to say, that a new client that we just got. So she was with one cleaning services business for last 2 years, and she was about to tip a cleaner through their website, and instead of writing down $40, she wrote down $4,000. And what happened? Of course, they charged her, but she called the business and she said, "Excuse me, guys, I wanted to tip only 40. Can you reimburse me?" They said, "Yes, we can reimburse you, but bank took us, I don't know, $200 for a bank transaction. Like Stripe does, for example, 3%." And she said, "Are you serious?" And they said, "Of course." So anyway, they said to her they don't want to do any business with her because they're not going to reimburse you full amount. They only can send her 3,800, okay, because bank took $200 or Stripe. But this is something you can do to client that you have a business for 2 years. But that tells you that a lot of people, not only in this business, in any other business, they're so greedy, and I'm not that guy. Currently, right now, I have these two laborers working outside. It's hot, and I'm paying them $25 per hour. And I could easily pay them 20, or I could easily pay all of my cleaners today, not 20, 15. And I don't know, $300 more for me per day. But then I don't have happy vibe within my business. You know what I mean? I don't need that. So I need them to call me and tell me, "Thank you so much." Or they say in Spanish, "Gracias, jefe, muchas gracias." And then I'm like, I feel super good. Then the whole vibe is great. So a lot of people, they don't think about it. Like if my client called me, I would say, "Hey, don't worry. I already made with you $2,000. I don't care now about these $200."
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they don't have sense for that.
That's the biggest thing. If
Yeah,
you're willing to lose the client over the $200 that they've been paying you, let's say
yeah,
for a
true.
year already, and they're going to continue, And now that one little stupid mess up that you did, that you're not going to
Exactly.
give the full,
Exactly.
better for the customer to go somewhere else then. Because then
Exactly. Exactly.
you realize that they don't care about you
And
truly.
was the best part? This customer is paying for 3 hours. Cleaner is there every time 1 hour because she's only asking her to do the floor and throw the garbage. And she tips the cleaner every time we go there. So you cannot believe, amazing client. Amazing client. You know, so I don't understand. I don't understand some people, as I said, they're just greedy, you know, but that you can be greedy in business. Just do it. Use your talent. Use your talent so you are able to pay your employees good. So that's what I'm doing. And so that you can also make enough money. My profit is 50%. 50%. I've heard some other businesses like 10%, 15. I don't know what these people are doing. Depending on marketing, $0. Today, let's say, actually, let me tell you like this. In last year, I spent $2,000 on marketing. So trying different stuff. Okay. Only thing that it's working here and there is Google guaranteed. It's working, but it's crazy expensive. And you might get the call. How much is the cleaning? 160. Thank you so much. Bye. You call back, they're not picking up. And Google is charging you $60. You know, so you can spam them later. It's some messages, hey, la la la. But in 95% of cases, that's not gonna work. So then I figured, oh, you know what? I'm gonna rather, as I told you, give almost a free cleaning, almost a free, for me, free. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna make any profit. Cleaning to my client. He's gonna be, how are you doing this? But I'm doing this because you're gonna refer me somebody. You know what I mean? It's better than go that way than risk it through Google, you know. So honestly, like today, I don't use Google at all, only if I really feel like I need more work because I just employed more people. And that's it, you know?
What's one of the biggest lessons that you've learned in this business in the last year versus the other businesses that you ran? Because those were, maybe the construction was a little bit more similar, but the Uber one that you had in Croatia, that's completely different. So
Yes. You know what? My personal, I mean, I don't know now if there's going to be like the answer you were asking for. Me personally, what I figured, and which is great for me, is that really, really, there are some people like my workers that are working. I'm not going to use that word, you know, hard, very hard, you know, they're going to drive from, I don't know, A to Z to make $60 and be happy. You know what I mean? And this is something that people don't appreciate today, you know? So I figured when I was cleaning, I'm like, I can't believe people are cleaning for $50. You know, I have a policy that we pay 60 minimum when somebody goes to clean. That's the minimum, no matter how many hours you're cleaning. So it's 60. If it's 1 hour, it's 60. If it's 2 hours, 63, 64, you know? I'm like, I can't believe these people are trying, scrubbing the floor, and they go to another job, and they're asking me for more work. And I'm like, holy smoking. But then at the same time, you have another guy, greedy guy, who doesn't want to embarrass client for $200. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And he made this money pretty much just by doing nothing. You know what I mean? You maybe schedule first 5 cleanings for managing, but then later when that starts working, you don't have to be involved really, you know, with a recurring customer, you know, that goes on its own, you know?
absolutely.
Yes, and but there is a lot of people I see even using your platform. Some businesses around here, you know, you go on their website, you know, and even the online form is not even set it up. So they're paying you, I don't know, $200 a month. The thing is not even set it up, and then you figure out who is your competition. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I mean, I don't know, you might be my competitor because you are in business for 5 years, you know, but business wise, not only to me, to anybody else. Listen, people, these are not competitors. You know, just get your ass to work and just work every day, same thing, you know, and you're gonna get there. It's impossible. So that's the only formula. I said same thing every day, same thing every day, and that's my formula for forever. You know, and that's it. Of course, your Google business has to be very professional, nice pictures, logo on each photo. You can check mine if somebody wants to. Website, when you land, everything needs to be nice. When they call, you need to have somebody phone number, IVR, welcome to Clean My West Mess. We are excited to assist you, la, 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 la. So they have feeling they call a serious business. You know what I mean? Not they call you and you're like, do you speak English, Spanish? You know what I mean? What is that? So they need to get the feeling they're calling a business with 40, 50 employees. even though or it's only you. It doesn't matter, you know. So you're gonna get to first job. You're not gonna say I'm the only one. You're gonna say I have 15 people working with me. That's what I used to do. I would come to first, I don't know, 100 jobs alone, and I would say, yes, I show up because I had no more people today, and I promised you I'm gonna come, and I came. So client will think like, wow, that's so amazing from you. It was only me. You know? My tool sets, cleaning sets, they have numbers, you know. So each cleaner has its own like tool set, you know, but it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's 22, 37, 47. You know what I mean? You understand? You know, but these are little tricks. So when you get into the place, people, they're gonna look at that vacuum with the number and they're gonna say, okay, number 37. So how many people works in this business? You know what I mean? So they get more confidence with you. And I mean, clients, they know me now very well, you know. But this is how you do it. You know, you need to think about all these details, you know.
I like that. That's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah, that's wow.
You know. So yeah. But you know, I love to brainstorm. I love to brainstorm. I could talk to you 6 hours about any business, you know, and I'm willing to help anybody. I never in my life had social media. Okay. I'm thinking to have it just to motivate people, really. But
I think you would do great because your energy is so high that people are going to love you for sure.
I mean, there are a lot of people that tell me this, you know, a lot of people that tell me this. Maybe that's why everything is going so well. I don't know, you know. Sometimes you get tired, you know, you get tired, you wake up and you're like, let's go again, you know. But it's meant to be like that, you know. I used to come to some places, listen, literally poop on the floor. And I come clean and I open the apartment, client is not there because I think if he or she would be there, she couldn't look at my face, you know. And I look at that floor, I'm like, I drove 60 minutes to get here. I'm not going home right now. You know what I mean? I'm going to clean it, you know. And of course, if I'm doing it on my own, for example, it was one studio, it was really like poop on the floor, etc., etc. Listen, gloves, and let's go. You know, I clean it in 3 hours. I said to client, listen, usually this is 1.5 we charge for the studio, but it usually takes us 2 hours to clean. This was 3 hours, and you know that what kind of stuff you had on the floor. So it's a little bit harder working environment. I would appreciate if you would tip me. You don't have to be shy. You say this straight. You know, I'm gonna charge you 170. The guy pay me 220. You know, and I clean 3 hours. So this business, you cannot fail. Why? Because even if tomorrow you don't have any of your employees, you can always make $60 or $70 per hour. You know, and I don't have to talk about Windows because with Windows you can make way more. Windows it's another story that I had no clue about, but I started pricing some jobs and I'm like, these people are accepting, you know what I mean? And with cleaning Windows, you can make easy, sometimes per day, $2,000. You know, one place, I don't know, let's say one house. You know, I had people paying, I don't know, $4,000 to clean the windows, and we finished in a day. I have 2 helpers. I paid them $1,500 to, let's say, material amortization. You know what I mean? $2,000 stuck like this. I sweat, but I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with your hiring, I'm assuming you have employees, not contractors.
Yes. All they work only with me.
Okay. And
Yes.
how many do you have in total?
So, for example, today it's 8 of us working, plus me would be 9, but today I'm not working. Otherwise, pretty much would be anywhere from 6 to 12, depends on the day. But I would say 12 people.
How many are hired under your company?
12.
12. And
people.
where do you find them? Where do you do your hiring?
So honestly, for example, as I said, they call me from Google. They're looking for a job. So I am not paying again nothing for that. So they have a list probably right now at around like 30 cleaners that are looking for a job, because every day 2 or 3 cleaners call me and they're like, hey, I need a job. You know, I ask them, do you have a car? Because that's very important. And do you speak Spanish or English? You know, because if they speak English, I would accept them right away because it's way easier for me to then later on handle them, you know. And that's the case when I might maybe then activate Google Guaranteed just to keep them busy as well, you know, because I don't want to call somebody to work with me and then they work for $500 a week. Miami is a very low pay, honestly, overall, but I think that my cleaners are making $1,000, I would say, a week, which is amazing, honestly, for Miami, because most of them used to work in hotels. Hotels pay them 14.50 an hour, while I pay them 20, plus they get tip. So they get out probably 1,000 a week.
And what does your hiring process look like when you are hiring? So
at the beginning, they would go work with me.
Okay.
So with all of my current employees, okay, let's say from 12 of them, 8 of them that came, they work with me for a week. So then I would explain them how to, I don't know, sometimes people on the fridge, they might have a little rust. So there is a product to remove that rust. Then in the bathroom, hard water stain on the shower fixtures, how to remove that, because nobody's doing that. Nobody. You're going to have 20 companies, they're going to just wipe it, with regular detergent for cleaning, and that's it. But there are products, for example, that I use to remove hard water stain from the windows that you can use to remove hard water stain from shower fixtures as well, from steel, stainless steel. So I would show them all these tricks. I would show them what's the fastest way to clean the toilet when you have also hard water stain, etc., because there is one very specific acid that would do it on its own probably within 10 seconds, so they don't have to scrub. So I would show them all of that, how to set up the bed. Then I start having a feeling they know what they're doing. And I just let them do it. A very important thing is that you have to know that every time they call you on the phone, they're going to tell you, yes, of course, that I know how to clean. I clean my home every day. But it's not the same, to the point that sometimes you're going to ask yourself, is this possible that she's cleaning lower cabinets first, then upper cabinets? It doesn't make sense, for example, in the kitchen, and they're like, hey, okay, let me make the rules. And then I say to everybody, we clean from up, down. So if you have a house, 3 floors, we start up, da-da-da-da. If you have cabinets, we start up, da-da. So sometimes even though it might seem to you, you shouldn't say this, you have to say it to make sure they understand, because a lot of people, or most of people, would get into the different unit every day. They get confused. They don't know where to start from, So then I say, listen, most energy is in the bathroom. Usually start from the bathroom, look, and kitchen and out, But there is a process that I wrote them down so they know exactly what they're doing, But now, last 4 people that I employed, they work now with the teams that I have. So they teach them how to do. Then they give me a green light. They tell me, hey, they know what they're doing. You can let them work on their own. And that's it. But it's very easy, honestly.
What's your ideal cleaner look like? Like what are they doing for you?
Ideal cleaner would be the one that any issues that she runs on, she tries to figure on her own. Okay, because a lot of them will call you for stuff that they shouldn't call me. They should call client, for example. Like should I wash his bed sheet? But you ask client that, not me. You know what I mean? So you need a problem resolver, not the one who's going to cause problems. Not cause really problems, but start annoying you with questions. Would be ideal in Miami to speak English. 95% of clients are speaking only English. Have a car and just be on time. And that's it. That's it, if you ask me. Here, most of people that are working with me, I would say actually all of them are Latin people. And that's the one problem that I have, that, like, for example, from my 12 people, 11 of them are speaking Spanish. So they come to your place, Michael, for example. So I don't know if I'm assuming that maybe you don't know how to speak Spanish. And now you want to say to her something and they're going to tell you, you know what I mean? But they didn't understand you. So, and then you come back and you're like, why she didn't do my laundry? I told her to do it, for example, But now I figured this whole process. So before they go there, I make sure that we know exactly what we are doing. So I'm going to ask you all these questions. And then I tell you, if you need anything specific, please do not hesitate to call me. Or when she's there, call me. I will help you to translate. But this doesn't happen anymore because now they understand way more than before, But I would say, very important just to be on time. That's number one.
Absolutely.
That's number one. And that's pick up the phone and be number one on time. That's what I am. And this is how everything started pretty much,
It's for you choosing employees versus contractors, you have more control, right? You give them a
Exactly.
uniform, you give them their supplies, you can
Exactly.
tell them how to do the cleanings, and it also you're still going in and doing cleanings with them, right? So
Exactly.
you get to model it. A lot of other people who use our platform, they're doing it the other way. They're doing independent contractors. They can't give them a uniform. They can't give them supplies. They can't tell them how to do things, right?
Yes.
You decided the other way and it works for you.
Yes. So I have one business that helps me out. Like it's a team of two. And I went to work with her personally, to see what she's doing. I saw that she knows what she's doing. Then she went alone to one customer, then to another one, then to the third one. Okay. And she's handling them no problem. She uses her stuff. I saw her stuff. I said to my clients, I can either send her or my crew that they never saw. They said, no, we're happy with this lady. So she cleans, for example, these clients only working only for them. She puts my shirt, you know, I provide her with the shirt. She put my shirt and her colleague. I went there once as just as a surprise to see how everything looks like, if they still hold the shirts, because I don't want them to steal my clients. You know what I mean? But today, for example, she's working as well to two of my clients only today, and no problem. She finishes, I pay her more because she uses her own supplies, ciao. And sometimes it is even easier, but I think this is something that shouldn't, at least in my case, overtake. I think I should always keep and have my own people. They know each other, they vibe. Once I had situation where two cleaners, like independent contractor and my cleaners, they didn't get together because they have different way they approach the cleaning. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this. I want to have my own people, and that's it.
For sure.
And
Well,
thank you for the
earlier you
cup.
mentioned, there you go. Cheers. Earlier you said you do no marketing. Now,
Yes.
when you started, you had to do some marketing, obviously, to get your clients.
Yes. So only marketing that I did was Google Guaranteed program. And one more thing that I did was that we participated in one school event in South of Fifth, one school over there in South Miami Beach, and that one brought us a little bit of work. But otherwise, I don't like to spam people. I don't like that guerrilla marketing. And I mean, we call it like that, at least in my country. I don't know how here, but I don't want to like go and put flyers in their apartments, etc., because I don't want nobody to leave me one star review. So I don't want people to get upset and go on my Google business and say, hey, this business is spamming me with flyers. So we have now around 4 Google businesses on Google, maybe close to 400 reviews. 50, I don't have any 4-star reviews, because all the problems, as I said, that I had, and I had maybe only 4, I said to clients, hey, don't worry, I understand you. I'll take care of this cleaning. And client tells me, I appreciate this is something that I would do if I would be in your place. Thank you so much. That's nice from you. That's how we do business. So they call me again, and that's it.
So, what did you do? How is it all referrals?
No, my Google is amazing. Okay. So for example, if I would Google right now here where I'm living at cleaning services, I would be number 1 on Google
So
organically.
your
Yes,
SEO is good.
exactly. Yes, excuse me.
Okay.
Yes, maybe I should mention this. Yes, bro. I forgot to think that way. But it's something that I did on my own.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, because I used to do this in Canada when I had that construction business. I would spend so much hours to figure out what is working and what is the way to get ranked number 1. And I found a way. So I have maybe another like 15 other businesses that I do Google for. Okay. So that's something that is my side hustle, but it's not at all something that is like I could consider my way of income. You know what I mean? A source of
Okay.
income. But yes, I know exactly, for example, what to do, how to do everything on Google so that I'm ranked in at least top 5, let's say. But for example, now I don't want to mention, that you can Google, but in the area I'm living in, I'm number 1. South Miami, I'm in top 3. Downtown Miami, depends which area you're searching for and what exactly you're searching for. I would be in maybe in top 10, but maybe the first one that has 5-star review, which is very important. So everybody who is even before me, they're 4.7, 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, and then it's me on number 5, for example, 5.0. Of course, they're going to call me, Only one problem that I'm facing, Miami Beach, I'm in top 3. Only problem that I'm facing and a lot of other businesses is that before maybe like a year ago, I figured that there is a lot of businesses that have a lot of fake reviews, on Google, and you can do nothing about it. And it annoys me. And I don't want to name them. I know them all. And you could figure this out because they would get like 200 reviews in same week,
Yeah.
which is impossible. You know what I mean? It's impossible.
Right.
But the problem is that Google cannot know if they maybe did a campaign and I don't know, from 1,000 clients, they have 200 of them just post review. So there is no way to remove them, but there is 2 or 3 businesses that are holding a very high position on Google, and I'm sure taking a lot of work based on their fake reviews. That's the only problem I have. But I would get, let's say, from Google anywhere from 4 to 10 calls a day, just organically, and then you have recurring, you know what I mean, and you're just filling up the gaps, and that's it.
I was going to say there's something, I don't know what's going on here. If you're doing zero marketing and you've got all these jobs and all this money coming in, you're the most blessed guy in the business, in the service industry, but it's SEO.
Yes, it's
SEO, you've been doing
yes.
SEO for years. Okay.
Yes, exactly. And as I said, you need to make your Google look nice. I mean, I put myself a lot of Google showing how to clean certain stuff. I mean, I have no really time to be 100% into making content because I don't have time for that to edit, etc. But I might make a raw video, of me cleaning the tub that is literally like orange color. It's supposed to be white. Then people, for example, believe it or not, but some people, they call me, are you the one who is on Google Photos, And I say, yes. Okay, you got a job. So yeah, like the thing that people don't understand, even one call from Google, as I told you, brought me now $100,000. One call from Google can easily bring you $6,000, $5,000, $3,000, especially these construction cleanings. They're the most expensive. Pretty much any construction cleaning, if it's a house, that's not under $2,500. Never. So the one that we just cleaned before 2 days ago, they told us that we'll go clean there, and they need it to be clean in a day. So when they finish the project, they need the house to be cleaned in a day. Of course, windows as well. So I'm the one cleaning windows personally. I bought machines, etc., etc., etc. We go clean. But that house, for example, cleaning of that house in 1 day is going to be $7,000 for sure. Easy math. 10 people, let's say $200 each. That's $2,000. So I have $5,000. Let's say it's impossible, but let's say $1,000 of material taxes. You know what I mean? I get out with $4,000.
For
you know
1 day.
What I mean? Yes. Okay, no problem. Tomorrow it's slow. I don't mind being slow for next 5 days. You know what I mean?
It evens out.
Yeah, and now just before we were about to get to this call, I was looking at the numbers really to have an idea, so I'm not throwing out the numbers. We do 100 units a month, at least. When I say units or properties, one property might be a 10,000 square feet house, or one property might be 80 offices, which we recently had post-construction cleaning for one office place. We clean around 100 properties a month. We made in last 9 months in revenue. Let me just see over here because I wrote it down and I want to share this with you.
You're jumping ahead. That's.
You want to talk about that later?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple more marketing questions I have, but if you want to get into the money,
go ahead. Let's cook it more. Sorry.
Do you have partnerships? Do you have partnerships with any other businesses, whether it's a realtor or like a building manager or anything?
Contractors, very important. Very important. So general contractors, construction, GC. That's crazy important. That's crazy important because I'll just give you an idea. I have 3 of them. Very busy. Sorry, 4. Now let's exclude the one that I made $100,000 from because they are also GC. So let's say it's three of them. When they send you job, because it's a post-construction cleaning again, as I told you, this is never like less than 2,500 thousand. But I made from them in last, let's say, 8 months, for sure, like $40,000, just from them. You know what I mean? Just from them. And this is maybe like I don't know, 10 jobs. No, one job 7,000, another one 2,000, 5,500. You know what I mean? Those are the prices. So that helps you a lot. That, I mean, it keeps your people busy. But you, as a business owner, you are making a big profit. It's a big profit, because I can organize this like this, and it can be done like this. And not every business have a capability and experience to price it accurately. I know exactly how many square feet I can wash in 8 hours. Then I multiply, blah, blah, blah. Okay, windows, 10 minutes each. I know exactly. I say, okay, I need this many people. This is this much. You can start tomorrow. Yes, ciao. And I always have a backlist of cleaners that if I need, I can always hire them, So I have a list of people that if I'm missing tomorrow, 6 people, I call 20 of them who can come tomorrow to help me out, you know what I mean? And then they're going to say, hey, I can come, you know what I mean? You'll pay them $10.99 tomorrow and you're good,
So how do you, with these jobs that you get, the big ones that you need more people, what's your strategy for now managing your growth? Because it seems like it's very sporadic. Not sporadic, but like there are days where it's like boom, you have like huge, like you said, $10,000
Yes.
job.
Yes.
And then the next week you could be slow. So what's your strategy there?
What's the thing? Me personally, as I said, like my goal is that we have always enough of little jobs. So that's my goal. So that my cleaners are always working. And I have like peace of mind that they're not gonna tell me, hey, Mislav, I'm not making as much as I thought I'm gonna be making, I just recently talked to one of my cleaners that I went to help some things yesterday, and asked them, hey guys, what do you need? What do you like more? And they're like, how do you mean? Like, I said, hotel or this? This. Because in hotel they will make $550. With me, they said nobody's bothering us. You know what I mean, over there. But it's not easy to change. They usually need to change around 12 rooms, clean them and change the bed sheets. Bed sheets are really like thick. You know what I mean? It's very tiring. So for them, this is easy. Tip, ciao, ciao, bye. You know what I mean? I don't bother them at all. Pictures when you enter, pictures when you finish. And that's all I'm asking for, because I need to know when they get inside, I need to know how the unit looks like. So I have an idea how much of a time they're going to need to finish, because I don't want them also to be there and talking, you know what I mean? And so now anything that comes and that it's more than a few $1,000s, to me, just extra money, Now, me personally, when it comes to my capacity of like handling all of this, la la la, or if you think that sometimes I'm getting overwhelmed, yes, but I can handle more, and I think my capacity would be another year like this, and then I need to step out, pay somebody, to just do what I'm doing right now, pretty much,
So you're saying in the next year you want to stop doing cleanings yourself?
My stuff, yes, of course, that I want to be here, but I would like to get somebody
A
where I'm
manager.
at. Right, yes, exactly, to handle these people, answer the phones, etc. They can, because what's going to happen? For example, cleaner going to call you, hey, listen, I mean, these are stupid problems, but very important to know. Hey, my vacuum is not working. So what you going to do now? Like, she can do the job, So I need to turn on my car and go there with another vacuum, you know. So I will need person to be there to do such a stuff, you know. Uh, Also, I pay my people when they drive from a job A to B. I pay them for the time they travel, So that's something that I'm considering. I might figure out when we start having more jobs, to have maybe a person who's going to do all of this and just drive them from one side to another, because if I have 2 cleaners and they're driving from A to B, I pay them $20 just for driving 30 minutes. You know what I mean? So that next job, I make it $20 less.
Right.
So I might find somebody who's going to drive them, you know what I mean, and do all this other stuff. But I need to circle that around and figure out how that would work. You know what I mean? For now, I can push another year. Back home, I would handle 200 calls a day and 70 conversation a day on WhatsApp. I'm not close to that right now, but I have more labor work where I'm involved. You know, so I think I can handle this another year with this tempo. And then I need to put somebody here. You know, I have my own math in my head. You know, I know exactly how much of a profit I want to make, so that I can say, okay, I don't know, $5,000 is for you, buddy. You know what I mean? Please take care of everything. Pick up the phones. These are the prices, etc., etc. Go see the work, and that's it. You know.
So now, money side of things. When you started in September of last year till now, how much money have you made? How much revenue?
I think we are close to $500,000.
Five.
Yes, literally. I told you only one house is revenue. Okay, profit is 50%, 250. I told you only one house is around $100,000. We make right now a month around 30,000 of revenue minimum. So it goes anywhere. I would say actually from 27 to 40. You know, so I'm sure we're gonna hit. I would feel easy to say that today that's gonna be around 400 something, but this year, for example, 2025, it's gonna be 500,000, I would say, in revenue.
So you did from September of last year till now, you've done 500,000, and then what you're saying is January to December, you're going to hit 500 just alone in this year.
Exactly. Yes. I can't believe it.
First year, 500,000 in your first year.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I even can't believe. And I was looking at these numbers very specifically in the last 4 months because I wanted to get a better picture of what's going on, you know, and also to see where my money is going, you know, because very often you're gonna start buying supplies randomly. And I'm missing like 100 like white eraser, you know, sponges, you know what I mean? And then you don't have an idea that yesterday I spent 250 for supplies, you know. And I said, okay, no, let me focus. I need to write down everything, you know, to see how much is exactly my profit. And as I said, your platform, I wanna say something also about that. You know, helped a lot because without that, would be impossible to manage these cleanings that I have, especially the small jobs. Because some other big jobs that I have, they pay me, you know, straight to the bank as a wire transfer, and I have contracts with them, etc., etc. So I handle this on another side, but I'm trying now also to put them in the system. And some other clients that I was doing work on the side, like these contractors, you know, I wouldn't put them in the system, so I don't bug them with, you know, your cleaning is starting tomorrow. You know what I mean? But overall, your app helped me so much because, you know, when cleaner asks me, "Hey, what is tomorrow?" You have everything in your app. It's my only answer, you know, and everything is so organized. Everything works so perfect that it's not even true. Like I can't even believe, really. Like when I got a message, for example, Elizabeth, one of my cleaners, clocked in. I'm like, oh, this is so perfect. New lead added. This is so perfect. You know what I mean? You know, everything is so great. You know, and then when you see out of nowhere, especially as I told you, like only that SEO so organically, like new lead added, and then 10 minutes later, I open my email. There is a new booking in your folder, and I'm like, wow, $60. You know what I mean? You know, out of nowhere. You know, it's just like a gift. You know, so I love it. I saw it from one of my competitors before I started. You know, I saw that they are using, and I start searching, and I had no clue that there is so much behind. I think it's amazing. I saw that also can be utilized for some other services. Port, amazing. I can't say nothing. We were all struggling when you guys had that some like tax phishing stuff like that. But you guys, I don't know how big is the whole business, but you guys, I think, did really amazing because you did everything possible to keep us all safe and keep us all working. We were struggling for a little bit, but for 1 second, I didn't think about quitting with you because I felt from emails that you guys were sending us that you are doing more than possible. And of course, everything costs. Nobody is going to protect you for free. You know what I mean? Just because you're
Right.
getting attacked. You know, this is not police say, come help me. You know what I mean? So I'm amazed, really. I'm amazed. Everything works perfect. People, they clock in, they press down on their way. I see them on GPS that they're driving. So I don't need to bother them. Hey, are you on your way? You know what I mean? So everything is amazing. And I don't know what next year is bringing up. You- From zero to, I don't know, 200 clients wasn't hard. It was a lot of work, but I still, I feel okay. So now to double it, it should be easier. So let's see. I'll keep you posted.
$1 million in your second year would be nuts.
That
That
would
would
be
be
nuts.
nuts.
Let me just mention you something that I had a company that called me wondering about buying the business. I don't know where this came from. I thought it's a spam. So when they sent me a third email, I called them. And this is something that I never thought about, and this works different in Europe. And I started talking with the business owner, and I asked him like how much, because if you are making, let's say, $200 profit, let's say for example a year, anybody who's looking to buy your business, they will pay you 3 times more. So let's say, it's 200, so they're going to pay 600,000 to buy your business. There is a lot of people that are buying businesses to get papers in the States. So they have working visa and they're not losing any money. They invest, they're going to return the money back. So basically papers for free. A lot of Airbnb owners, because Airbnb owners are struggling finding good cleaning services, especially here in Miami, because we are considered being expensive. But at the same time, they cannot rely on individuals because they're limited with their time. Okay, so I have there's a lot of people who have like 15 apartments and they need a business. They want to buy a business just to use it to clean their properties, you know. And then there are big companies that they're just buying small business, you know. So I had a talk about that, and let's see where it goes next year, you know. Maybe we can flip it and do it again, you know what I mean? Speed up the process, you know. Let's see. I don't know, but amazing experience. And as I said, I hope whoever doesn't know what to do in their life, what business to start. I said at the beginning of this conversation, go on Google, search for any industry, plumbing, whatever industry is not picking up the phone, that's the most busy industry. So this is where the money is. And services like cleaning services, this business will just become more and more busy because people have less and less time to do stuff like that. They don't have time to clean because they now have to work 10 hours instead of 8, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. In next 10 years, they'll have to work 14 hours a day. When they're going to clean? So they need a service to come and clean, you know.
Sure.
So, and market is huge. Crime scene cleaning is something that I'm looking towards also.
Really?
Crazy money, you know. Yeah, that's crazy money. I don't know if you ever touch a base about it, but some crime scenes, for example, where you have, I mean, this might sound crazy, but if there is, let's say, even some blood in the room, you know what I mean? So you're like cleaning after somebody got murdered over there. Just one room, let's say, if it's that will be like 100 square feet, you know, they might pay you a few $1,000, $3,000, $4,000 just to clean it. You know, you have a contract with police or whatever, and listen, of course, you need a stomach at $4,000. Listen, I'm gonna close my eyes. You know what I mean? You know, now there are people who will do it as well. You know what I mean? Like funeral homes, they do this kind of stuff anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you do got to have the stomach for it. I gotta say, you hit $1 million next year in your second year. I'm flying down to Miami and we're partying because that's nuts. That's nuts. $1 million in your second year would be
That would be
crazy.
crazy. That would be crazy, but it's a good motivation. And I remember on a New Year 2025, I said to my friends, you're gonna see what I'm gonna hit this year. And they're like, well, I said, yeah, you're gonna see what I'm gonna hit. I was aiming towards million, even though I knew it's impossible, you know. It's even though you never know. You never know, you know. One contract can give you now another 100,000. You never know, you know. Building, clean the windows, you know, whatever, you know. But I know that I'm gonna hit half, but just one more year, it's behind, you know what I mean? And that's it. And I came from vacation. I'm full of energy, and I'm ready to continue.
So January 2027, I want an email from you saying, book your flight, come to Miami, we're going to party.
There you go. I promise you for sure.
That's your motivation for the next year.
Exactly.
Besides revenue, what are you looking at? What are you trying to track to measure your success?
But honestly, more clients, more happy faces just make me feel good. Honestly, yesterday I texted my client. I said, "Hey, excuse me, I forgot to mention, even though it says in the document that I sent her that when it's subscription model, that she's paying for the parking, because we are literally making very little profit there." And I said to her, I forgot to mention, but it says over there, but I just want to be on the same page with you before I proceed with the charge. You know what I mean? Because people might get upset about $10, you know what I mean? And she tells me, of course I'm gonna pay for it. Like she's gonna pay for it, you know what I mean? But the feeling I didn't answer to her, but clients, they don't know what kind of feeling I have when they told me, like, yes, when they agree with me, when I feel that we are on the same page, And I know as much more of this comes to me, I will just feel more powerful to go forward, And I need to say last thing, and whatever it's coming, I need to say this. I came to Miami, it was so hard. Buddy, I did a lot of hard work over here, So I came to Miami with money money disappeared in the first year. Okay. I did so much hard work. I was bouncing in the clubs, really, from being a 24-year-old running business, selling my business, going to Canada, spending money over there to make new business, starting making money again, changing environment, coming to Miami to live in a very expensive town. No party. I have no one party in Miami in 3 years. Zero. Another one is going to be in January 2027.
That's right.
Okay. But listen, I didn't saw the light. And the picture that you see in me is the one that I was facing when I was sitting opposite. Okay. And I saw this picture behind me, and I was almost crying on my table. I said, I'm not going to give up, because this is the light behind the tunnel. And I was working like crazy. I have a book here. I should find it. But anyway, when one day I went to church, I broke apart, really. They gave me a book saying, Jesus loves you. And I wrote down in that book, Jesus, please help me. I want to make this much by that time. And I forget about the book. And somehow that same month, I'm like, hey, I wrote down this in this book. Let me see. And I made 2,000 more of a profit that month than what I wrote down in that book. And I'm like, I said, this is impossible. Everything is possible. I had so much good people. Thank you to all my friends, really. Really. So many people were next to me, helping me with a lot of stuff, and they all know now what's going on, they all know everything. I keep them posted. I share all of my friends' businesses here and there on WhatsApp, like 15 different businesses on my status. So other people that are around me can see their businesses. So I'm trying to help them as well. I just want to have a good vibe around me. I just want them to see. I showed them what's possible. They saw it, and I want them to know that they're not alone, in this, because at the moment it was really hard. You might start thinking like, should I stop or no? But stopping is not solution, what I mean? And if you just keep going, do not make the things complicated. Do not overthink, just go. Because some of the most richest people in the world, they're not there because they are smart. I'm telling you, they're there because they were a little bit stupid, because they weren't afraid. You know what I mean? They weren't afraid of their risk because they didn't understand the risk, So I have a little bit of the stupidity in myself. I just go forward. I don't care, what I mean? That's it.
So where do you see the business in 5 to 10 years? We know next year, but if you hit that next year, then what's 5 to 10 years?
There you go. So I have now something that is very fresh, starting this business in Orlando. Okay. So that's maybe something that might happen, starting franchising it, and that will happen for sure. So that will be a topic maybe next year, let's say, because anybody can start cleaning business. But me personally, I know it's very hard to make what I made in a year, and I said to this guy, because he saw what I made, he asked me to start it in Orlando. I said to him, listen, it's better for you to start it with me, because everything that you alone could learn in 5 years, I'm going to make it short for you and explain it before you even start the business. It took me a lot of time and it would took me even more if I was lazy. You know what I mean? But it took me a lot of time, to figure out what's the best price, how to talk, how to make it so it looks good. You know what I mean? So go with me, pay me some minimum. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't care because I know what is coming later. I'm going to be another time, but then later I put my legs on this table and I chill, you know? So pay me, for example, 1,000 a month. Take all the profit. Just pay me 1,000 a month and do whatever you want. But 1,000 for him tomorrow will be nothing because I'm going to show him how to make 100, for example, of a profit in a year like this. Also for him, 10,000 a year or 12, it's nothing. You know what I mean? To pay me. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Yeah. So now in the software, we talked a little bit about it. How big a
Yes.
role is the technology for your business every day?
Your technology is 80, no, it's 90%. It's 90%. Without it's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible. You can write down notes. You can make it the way you want, you know? So, for example, I have few options how people can book their cleanings, and that helps also myself when I agree about very specific price to change this, that, etc. So your platform is 90% of my business. Without it, I don't know what I would do. I mean, I would maybe search for somebody else. You know what I mean? But I'm so used to it. It's so simple. It's so straightforward that I mean, I don't know. Like you could be stupid to use it. You know what I mean? Technology is important. I think nowadays, ChatGPT is helping a lot. Can help you also a lot to send any quotes, emails to customers, respond real quick. I have now something that I'm looking forward about AI assistant. I should have a meeting today, I think, a little bit later about that, even though I want to test it out because I haven't tried it myself yet. But that could take also a lot of work out of my head. And that's it. And then, yes, I mean, as I said, I'm always on laptop, but Booking Koala works on phone. You know what I mean? It works everywhere. You know what I mean? So you just need internet, So as I told you, I was in Croatia. I said to my people, "Hey, let's work less." I made 2,000 something dollars of profit by being in Croatia on the beach, on the beach and chilling. You know what I mean? Everything here, hey, you have job here, left, right, ciao. So to me, it's amazing. To me, it's amazing. I wouldn't be here, honestly, if I wouldn't feel good about you guys at all. Trust me, buddy. Really, I did have questions for you. You guys responded to all of them, and I can't say nothing bad. Like I don't even know who came to idea. It must be somebody who was into business and trouble. I had a lot of troubles or troubleshooting some problems and was looking to a solution. You know what I mean? Because I can see that whoever was making the software was looking way further, you know what I mean, than just making a software for a booking, So you guys made a good machine, you know what I mean, and hopefully people see this, you know what I mean. That's why, as I said, I'm here, and then Booking Koala, I go forward with you guys,
We
That's
love
it.
that. So you used us in the beginning, from the beginning, when you first
Yes.
started, right? You found the competitor, because maybe they didn't answer the phone like you said.
Yeah.
You saw a couple people using us in Miami. What was that the reason why you went with us, because others were using it, or what did you see?
I'll tell you now what was the reason. The reason was that I was about to pay my family or my cousins back home to make the platform because I had no clue that your platform exists. Okay. And they said, "What do you want?" And I sent them a link of few businesses that have that same kind of form, you know what I mean? But I had no clue because I don't have a background really in IT myself. And they figured out this is Booking Koala. They said, "Hey, you have a platform that is already doing all of this because to build it's going to cost a lot, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? To build the whole process, the whole thing that you guys did, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense." As I told you, doing this business as an individual, you're going to make $70 per hour. What is the problem to pay now Booking Koala $200? You make this in 3 hours. I can go clean tomorrow, say to all my cleaners, say, "Listen, stop working. I don't need you guys. I'm going to go clean alone for $70 per hour because that's pretty much how much I'm going to make. My cleaners are making 20 because I'm paying them less so I can make money." You know what I mean? I can go alone. And it's not a problem to pay Booking Koala. You have best system in the world. You need nothing else.
So I'm gonna every time somebody complains about price, I'm gonna give them your phone number so you could tell them to stop
They
complaining about the price.
100%, because I'm telling you, listen, $200 should be one cleaning. So I just go work and make in 3 hours. You make $200 each hour. You know what I mean? I mean, if you know what you're doing, or if you're doing what I'm doing, there shouldn't be a problem at all. And honestly, I don't look at your bills at all. I don't look at your bills at all. Like, I don't look at it at all, because $200 for me right now is, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, 1% or 2%. And I mean, it's not a big thing at all. For the amount of money that I'm making to there, maybe some other businesses as well. Now, I don't want to talk about me, myself, or bringing myself up. $200 is nothing. Even if you tell me now to pay $2,000, I will be okay. Like, I can't without you. Of course, that you have your own prices based on the market as well. But you know what I mean? I would be like, okay, like, I'm making 20. I don't care. Like, I don't need problems. Let me just keep going. You know what I mean? Because I need to hit 40, and then, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So
And
these
compared
people
to
that,
with our competitors, we're also the least expensive.
there you go. I never look for anybody else, just so that you know. Literally, trust me. Trust me. I reinstalled you on my website, and that was it.
We love that. So what's one feature that out of the entire system that you love the most?
There is a new book in your folder.
The notification.
The notification. Honestly, I mean, yes, I love that feeling. Now, when it comes to one thing that makes me feel good, honestly, is that cleaners, they can press the there on their way. I can see exactly how much they were driving, and then based on that, I can pay them as well. And I don't need to bother them if they are in the unit, because they clock in. You know what I mean? I don't need to call them if they're on their way, because I can see them literally on the GPS. You know what I mean? So I would say, for example, that's crazy to me. That's really like the best, because app, not also that it's a booking app, it's also helping you save time communicating with your people, because this way I don't have to communicate to them. I'm here on my computer. Okay, I see them. Driving there. You know what I mean? So I don't need to bother them. They don't have to bother me and child. And it works
What about
amazing.
the other side? If you have one, is there something that it's missing that you want?
One thing that I was asking for, I think, was that would be ideal, would be to put the parking to be required to pay for the parking.
Oh, the parking and tip section on the booking form?
Yes. So yes, for example, parking to be required, because there are some buildings where we pay like $30 for the parking, and you don't know this before you come there. You know, you know what I mean? And then you come there, and they're like, "Oh my God, like, we're gonna make nothing today." Because of course, realistically, you are making, excuse me, I was sick a few days. You're making maybe, I don't know, per cleaning, let's say sometimes it's $100, sometimes it's 50, depends. But let's say it's $50 after you pay everything, and then $30 valet. And they're like, holy smoke. You know what I mean? So these people, they will know before booking, okay, I have to pay for the valet downstairs, because otherwise for this company, it doesn't really make sense to go there. Of
Well,
course,
there
now
is,
if,
you can add in the booking form, you can add a custom section and make that required and say, is there free parking or paid parking? And they can't complete the booking without filling that out.
okay, that's good to know. There you go.
So I could show you after this. We could talk about it, and then
Yeah,
you could
you
add
can
it.
show me. That would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
already
yeah.
there.
Okie dokie, okie dokie. Because I know there was a option, but I spoke to somebody once, and they told me that they're gonna look forward in the next version of the app to make it to be required eventually. I didn't really pay attention last, for sure, like 6 months about it, but it just says, because sometimes you might, like, parking is unfortunately from 100 it's 10%, 10%. Your profit is 30. You know what I mean? So 10% is 10%. Because you have $30 or 40 of parking a day, or 50. It depends. So you might save there. Okay, I could charge customers more, but it's not about, then people don't understand that I'm not charging. I don't want to charge for cleaning more. No, I need them to understand this is for parking. So this doesn't have nothing to do with the service that we are doing.
For sure. And now, finally, last question. Well, two questions. One, are
Yes.
you happy? Are you just happy
Yes.
overall with everything, the way everything's been going, your life and
Everything
all?
is perfect. It couldn't be more perfect. Trust me. It couldn't be more perfect.
I love to hear that. And then, second, if you could talk to your 10-year-old self, go back in time, what are you going to tell him? What advice?
It's a good question, you know. I will teach my kid to be consistent in anything, you know, in anything. And because that's the only key. That's the only key, only consistency, nothing else. You know, just to be consistent. And another thing that I often remind myself, do not let your high to be too high, you know, and your lows to be too low. That's so important because it happened to me once and I didn't know what I was doing. It's a stupidity, you know, it depends how you grow up, etc., etc. But consistency will bring you a long way, you know, really a long way. And I guarantee you that there is no failures. You always listen to people saying consistency. So just repeating the same thing, jab, 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 whatever, you know, I mean, running, running, run, run, you know, so same thing it's with work, you know, and I don't know why. I mean, if somebody wants to reach me out, I can leave my email here. I don't care. I really would wish to help somebody, but I don't know why people are giving up. You know, I mean, I really don't understand. I understand that it's hard, that they might not see money right away, but there you go. If not, buddy, move to Miami, start cleaning services business. There is enough work for everybody. You know, enough work for everybody. I just, for example, helped another business tidy and clean. We just met on one kid's birthday, you know, and she told me that she's struggling, that nobody's calling her from Google, etc., etc. So I helped her set up her Google, even though she's my competitor. You know what I mean? I send her clients when I'm too busy, and I said, "Hey, you want a cleaning? There you go. Don't pay me nothing. It's yours." You know. So as I said, here there is a lot of work. There is a lot of businesses, but there is a lot of work. You have no money. Come here, copy paste what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That's it. And the only thing that I'm doing, I was just working 1 year straight.
That's the one thing you do differently than a lot of other people. You do the cleanings yourself, and you're still doing
Yes,
it a year in.
exactly. Yes, yes, yes. And I was doing yesterday, for example, being sick, but I went to do it, you know, because I promised to my client post construction cleaning that I'm gonna personally come and clean her windows. And of course, she tipped all of us, and she told me, and I have a message here. Let me just real quick tell you, look, this. Da, 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 da. She's saying we are sharing your number with our friends in the building. She says, and just so that you know, thank you. We are so grateful, Misla. You know what I mean? That's it. That's all I need. Yeah, exactly. And I was tired. I was sick, but I'm like, no, no, no. I need to go do it. I promised that I'm gonna do it, and that's it. You
You
know,
gave your word and you showed
exactly.
up.
And that's it. And is this really hard? No, it's not. You know, people, please go. Just repeat. Just go do it. You know what I mean? Who cares? Because it's gonna pay out tomorrow. Trust me. I'm the real example. I told you I started this business with $500 with nothing. Nothing, nothing. Okay. Later, when I do a few jobs, then we made the website that I paid maybe thousand bucks. You know what I mean? Nothing. You know what I mean? And that was it. Okay. Today I have a lot of equipment, you know what I mean, that we use for cleaning, especially equipment for window cleaning is expensive for outside, a machine that filters the water. But buddy, if you have $2,000 in your account, start this business. I don't know where you guys are living. If you can do it on your own, if you guys can do it with your partners, whatever, you can make money for sure, because this is a business to be in, and this is the business that will go crazy in the future. I guarantee you that. And I'm example. I'm not a rich kid. You know what I mean? Whose father gave him money to go joke around. You know what I mean? I made this from scratch. From scratch, from nothing. I'm telling you, I was bouncing in the clubs. People can tell you. People, they know that I had money. They would see me. What are you doing? I said, buddy, I'm making money any way I can. I would come home 4 in the morning, wake up at 8 and go clean. You know what I mean? But it was only solution. It was only solution, you know. My partner, she was looking at me, she was like, what are you doing? I said, what I'm doing? Like, I have no other solution. Excuse me, but I have no other solution. You know, and we're gonna struggle. You know, we're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle because I'm not here, but it's gonna be like that. It's either this way or I'm gonna be broke. You know what I mean? I had no solutions. And that's it. But today, I could repeat this 20 times. You know, I'm here, I'm still walking, you know.
I love that. Mislav, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your
Thank you,
story.
Michael.
I mean, you're truly a inspiration and like the motivation that you're giving to people through this interview. I mean, I've done a lot of these, right? The numbers are the numbers. Every city is different, but your hustle, the fact that you're out and going and doing these cleanings, even when you're sick, even a year in, you know, it shows that your determination is second to none, and you will do whatever it takes to make sure your business thrives. Thank you again. We appreciate your time, and everybody watching, thanks for another episode. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Michael.